Hey guys, how's it going? James here. I just got back from the gym and I'm super hungry, and I'm excited to share with you a little piece of goodness, another good recipe. I'm on a little bit of a roll this week, and I thought I'd share something with you. Kind of builds on another recipe that I just recorded, and I'll take you into the kitchen. That's enough of my lovely face. Onto some lovely food. There's my prep station. This is my kitchen. Broadcast to you live from Google Glass. At least broadcast live from Google Glass to YouTube. And then it will eventually get to you whenever you watch it. Right, so what am I making? I'm making an Indian style pizza, but it's actually on a flatbread, so I wouldn't really call it a pizza. You might call it a pizzette. You might just call it a flatbread. Really what I've got here is a lavash, which is a bread that's a Middle Eastern bread. And I'm going to use a whole bunch of different ingredients. You can see I've got some lime zest here. I've got some red Fresno peppers. You could use bell pepper. I've got some yellow bell pepper. I've got some red onion, mint, cilantro chopped, or coriander, depending on where you're from. And then I've got these two things. A little bit of sweet potato. These taste really nice. These are actually really quickly done in a frying pan. They're cut maybe about, I don't know, and quarter of an inch thick. Done quickly in the frying pan with a teeny bit of oil, and then tossed in a little bit of garam masala and curry powder and salt. Really nice and tasty already. I just kind of deglazed that frying pan with a teeny bit of water and threw in a whole bunch of baby spinach that I had left over. I'm going to be using that on my Indian style flatbread, and I'm going to be building on another recipe which I said I already had a video for, and that was my vegan Caesar salad dressing. And of course, you'll already find that video on YouTube. We'll come to the dressing in just a second. That's what I'm going to use on top to kind of dress, I suppose, everything. What I've got here is I've got some Indian Life mango pickle. Mango chutney, mango pickle. Two very good things, but not quite the same thing. This is mango chutney, and I'm going to start by using this as my base. And you can already tell all these nice flavors coming together that are Indian. It's going to be super duper tasty. And this lavash bread, by the way, I stuck in the oven for a little bit. It's a spinach lavash bread. You can buy them at Whole Foods. I know that. You know, you could use any kind of bread. It doesn't have to be lavash bread. Just use whatever you can find. Make it on toast, for goodness sake. The bread's not important. All the stuff that you put on top of it's what's really going to make it taste good. But seriously, it's really great on this. It's nice and crunchy, as you can see. It's not like a dull pita. It's kind of like a toasted pita, but it's not a pita. It's just it doesn't have any hollow shell to it, at least. Right. So now that I've got that, I'm going to start building this up. Let's start with a little bit of spinach. This takes up quite a bit of volume if you actually spread it out. So I'm going to do that and not put it on top like I did the other night. I made a roasted vegetable flatbread the other night, but this is the first time I've ever made this kind of flatbread. Actually, I've really never made these kinds of flatbread sort of pizza-ish things before. At least not that I recollect. But with all of these good things here, how can it be bad? It smells banging. It's gonna taste good. You just know it. You know, when you know certain flavor combinations that you like, if it's Indian, if it's Thai, it doesn't really matter. You just put stuff together and it'll go well. You could make this all Thai. Just change up some of the seasonings and stuff. Instead of garam masala and curry, you could use lemongrass, kaffir lime leaf, maybe more coconut flakes or something like that. Really good ideas. You can come up with all sorts of great inspirations. Alright, now that I've got that, let me put some of my raw red onion down. And it's really important that you get a lot of raw foods in your diet too, right? You don't want to have everything cooked because raw food, it's where the life force is at. And this is just tons of color here too. One of the things about my cooking, especially when I'm cooking vegan, which is in the high 90% of the time, 95% of the time mostly, I guess, I really like color in all of my vegetarian or vegan cooking. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of these herbs, throw them down right now, and then I'll put some on the very, very top at the last minute for garnish too. But, you know, if you put all of this amount of herbs on at the very end, it'll cover everything else up. It won't look as pretty. Okay, and then we're going to put some of these down. I did these ahead of time. I actually just got back from the gym, like I said. And I did all the prep work for this. Here. We're going to put them the same way, because that makes some symmetry. I'm a fairly organized personality, if you know me. But also, I think it just cool design principle. Look at that. I even have an even count on them. So what I'm going to do with this last piece, should I put it in the middle? No. I'm going to eat it. Get rid of it. I got a nice even number there. A dozen. Alright. Alright, I need to put this back in the fridge. And then... Whoa. There it goes. My hand finally found a spot for it. Okay, so I've got my small Vitamix blender here. And like I said, check out my recipe for vegan Caesar dressing. It's awesome for vegan Caesar salads. I'm going to do, I don't know, inspiration from the same sort of playbook, I suppose, as that. It's a vegan creamy dressing, but I'm going to make it with mango, with coconut. So the vegan Caesar dressing has lemon and garlic in it, mostly as two primary flavors. And then I use these lovely cashews to bring on the creaminess of it. You'll hear me explain it a little bit better in that other YouTube video, so definitely check it out. This one's going to be more Indian inspired. So you saw how much coconut oil I put in there, probably like a good heaping tablespoon. I've got about half of a mango in here. You can use frozen like I've got, because I've always got some frozen fruit in the freezer for smoothies. And I'm going to make extra. I'll just use this for something else. You know, dip some veggies in it or something like that, or crackers or whatnot, doesn't really matter. And then to give it some really good Indian flavor beyond just that stuff, I've got a few spices. So I've got this little knob of ginger here. Everybody knows ginger. Full of lots of antifungals. Very healthy for you to prevent yeast, candida growth, fungals, antimicrobial, and mycotoxins and all that. And then I've got this stuff, and it kind of looks similar to ginger. Does this look similar? Yeah, it does. But this is orange. Let me... here. I don't need to fight with it. Just take a knife and cut it. So it kind of looks like it's the same color as a bright carrot inside of it, and this is raw turmeric root. Most people in North America, especially at least, are used to buying turmeric in powdered form like this. And this is not powdered turmeric. This is almost similar in color. It's powdered curry powder. And since we're going for the Indian flavors, you know, you could put whatever you want in here. You could put cardamom, garam masala, certainly this curry spice, sandalwood even. That would be really good. You can buy sandalwood powder at some Indian grocery stores. And here's my infamous vegetable salt. Always have that on hand. Use it for seasoning tons of things. It's sea salt plus organic veggies and pepper. Right. And what is this? This is lime. You can see that I've got the zest off of it. I've started to be really good about using my citrus fruits in terms of zesting them. Wow, this is a really tough one. I'm not getting a ton of juice out of it. That's alright. Come on. This is why I go to the gym. So that I can get juice out of these limes, darn it. Here, I'll show you a really good trick that I do sometimes, actually. While I'm showing you interesting things. Sometimes you just take the flesh of the lime right out of here. And this is especially good if they're not super juicy or squeezing really well. And throw some of that in there. You can throw in the white part too. However, it can make it kind of bitter, I find, so it's better if you don't. But now it'll have even more of a lime taste to it. I just need to rinse off my hands. And it looks pretty good already, doesn't it? It looks pretty good, I must say so. But it needs a few finishing touches, and that's going to be some of these last little things. So, right, I wanted to put a little bit of water in here. I'm going to turn on my Life Ionizer. And it's talking to me, saying that it's about to do alkaline water. Okay, good. I'm going to put in, I don't know, about 1/3 of a cup, maybe? Right. I don't measure things exactly, can you tell? Oh, right. Let's put that there. And one important thing that I always do when I'm cooking, as I just said, I'm kind of an organized person. I like to put things away. I like to kind of clean as I go. And notice how I'm using this small Vitamix, as I said, as opposed to the big one. This is 1 liter, this is 2 liters, or 32, 64 ounces. Alright, that's going on there. And you'll remember me doing this the other day. If you watched the other video, you put it on puree setting. This is one of the newer Vitamixes. So that's that one right there. It does everything for me. And I'm going to get my little doohickey here. I couldn't remember for the life of me the name of this thing in the last video. And I remembered what it's called. It's called the tamper. Alright, and that just helps to press things down. So here we go. On with the loud part. See how it's really gritty on there? It's really super gritty on the end of my tamper, but when it comes out of the Vitamix, after being on for a little while, it's going to be nice and smooth. That's what's beautiful about a Vitamix. But what I can do now is get a good idea for the flavor of it. Make sure that it tastes really good, and if not, you just adjust whatever you need. Alright, while that's going, I'm going to do the last little finishing touches. Uh-oh. See, this is wrecking my symmetry. Go like that. Ta-da. No, it looks about good. Like that. Okay. And then I'll put on my herbs now too. Just kind of shake them on there. Some like very coarsely chopped mint again, and some cilantro. If you weren't paying attention before, there's a pop quiz at the end of this. Pay attention. All right. Now I've got a lot of this goodness here, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of it into a container to go into the fridge. But before I do that, I'm going to, where did I put that? Let me just use this spoon for now. Just going to take my spatula, which I'll use to scrape this out later. But watch this. Since I'm doing a video, if I wasn't doing a video, I wouldn't be fancy. I would just put this on with my spoon. But now I'm going to taste it again. So you see what I did? I just put it in the corner of a Ziploc bag like that. Now some people are starting to catch on and know what I'm about to do. So I'm going to cut a tiny hole out of there, and whoop, it's coming out. Sweet. Now it's all fancy. Okay, restaurant style. And then lastly, we'll just take this lime zest, and make it all the more lively on top. Is that brilliant or is that brilliant? That looks amazing. All right. You know, one of the great things about this dressing, which I didn't mention in the other video, with the cashews, it's highly good for like a pick-me-up. Cashews, raw cashews, like I put in, are a natural antidepressant. All right, let me bring this over. Hey, this is too good not to eat. I'm going to end this video ASAP. But if you like this, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching it on YouTube. Follow me on Google+, or make sure you like it and +1 it, reshare it if it's up to your standards of what you'd like to go and see more of. Mostly my recipes are fairly vegan. They're always super duper tasty, just like this one, and I try to be as healthy as possible and give you a little few insights in each video how to be healthy and strong, and at the same time please your mouth and your tummy. All right, this is James Kelly signing out. Bye for now.